Well, jury selection is set to get underway today in the sexual assault trial for 5 former members of Canada's World Junior Hockey team. TSN's Rick Westhead is live this morning in London, Ontario, with the latest, kind of setting things up. Rick, good morning to you. What can we expect to see today, and why don't you sort of set the stage as to what's going to go on for the next week or so?
Yeah, well, we've been waiting a long time for this moment. We first reported on this case and these allegations back in May 2022, and finally the criminal trial of 5 co-defendants, former members of Canada's 2018 World Juniors Hockey team, go on trial. The case opens today with jury selection, and that process could take the next day or so. It's interesting. The judge, we expect, is going to ask prospective jurors whether they've been following the case in the media and whether they formed an impression and a belief about the guilt or innocence of these players that they can't be shaken of. Once we have jury selection completed and those 12 members of the jury are selected, then we move on to opening statements, and that's when the Crown Attorney, for the first time, will lay out in court the government's case against these 5 co-accused. After that, we move on to testimony from Crown witnesses, and then it's the defense's turn to present evidence.
And do we expect at this point, Rick, whether or not we'll hear from those 5 players facing the allegations? Have their lawyers indicated whether they'll be testifying or not?
Yeah, good question. And they don't have to decide yet. You know,
Okay.
Typically what you'll see happen is the defense will wait until the Crown has finished presenting the government's case. And at that point, they'll make a calculated decision based on whether they think they have to. And if they believe, if the defense lawyers believe that the government really has not proven their case, then there's a good chance that the defendants won't take the stand. Because remember, if these players do go on the stand, they testify, but then they are cross-examined by the Crown as well. I think also important to point out that in cases like this where there is a trial by jury, the jurors have to find that these defendants are guilty beyond a reasonable doubt for a conviction, and all 12 jurors need to be unanimous on that. So for the defense only has to convince one juror out of 12 that there's a reasonable doubt to secure an acquittal.
All right. Okay. Well, we've watched so much of your coverage on this already. TSN's Rick Westhead. We'll look forward to more as the trial gets underway. Appreciate you setting this up this morning. Thank you.